Another rant. Welcome back. I am so sick of people wasting precious breath and time, essentially equivocating police brutality with black on black crime. I have multiple issues with this erroneous point. So here's my detailed rejoinder. Number one. In a press conference last week, Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany came out swinging on the defensive, and to be honest, it was kind of fun to see. But she was talking about how many people died because of black on black crime in Chicago over the weekend. Black on black crime in an area rife with gangs. Wow. Gangs kill people? Learn something new every day. And what I'm learning today is that apparently you have one moral standard to which you hold our police force and also our gangs. Is this really the hill you want to die on? Are we lowering the bar that far? I'm just checking, because that seems to be exactly what you're doing. Number two, why do we call it black on black crime? White people kill each other all the time, and we don't call that white on white crime. It's because you can weaponize that particular phrase. And it comes in handy when you're trying to back up your bullshit belief that black men are inherently dangerous. They're thugs, murderers, thieves. Number three, let's take Kayleigh's example of Chicago. Black on black crime in Chicago is obviously high. You want to know why? Because the areas to which she is referring are majority black communities. So, of course, the majority of deaths would be minorities, because in that population, they are not the minority. If two Asian Americans shot each other in Chinatown, we wouldn't call that Asian on Asian crime, because that wouldn't serve your purpose of prejudice. That would go back to just being a regular shooting, where race doesn't really have a place in the conversation. Number four, let's go back to Chicago. Right-wingers like to ask, or attempt to throw it in our faces, why aren't there people protesting and rioting in those streets nightly, highlighting those deaths and those atrocities? My answer is simple. Because hopefully the police will do their job without people having to crowd the streets like a mob and set things on fire. That's the goal, right? Number five. But what if the bad guy is a cop? The answer seems to be suspension with pay in a lot of cases. Unless there are riots and literal fires in the streets. And then we might see some semblance of accountability. In conclusion, yes, of course we care about black on black crime. But if you hold that in one hand and police brutality in the other, and try to tell me they weigh the same, if you're telling me I can't expect more responsibility and morality out of a cop than I can out of a gang member, if that is truly your argument, you need to dig deeper into that bag of lies, Kayleigh, because this one is ridiculous and utterly irrelevant. And P.S., I find it fascinating that you only care about black on black crime when you can use it as a distraction, obfuscating the true situation and turn it around and say, hey, they do it to each other too.